Welcome to the 84th Spring Senior Breakfast to honor our graduating seniors and graduate students from the classes of May and August 2022. It's good to be back in person. It's probably one of the first events that we've hosted that hadn't had some kind of major calamity to shut it down. So I'm Bob Valentine, and I'm the Senior Breakfast Master of Ceremonies for life, and I've done this 80 of the past 84 years. No, just kidding. I'm Tony Brannon, Dean of the Hudson School of Agriculture, and I have done it a few times. Bob Valentine's probably relaxing on the beach down at Buchanan. He'll be back with us, I'm sure, for graduation to call your name. But as serving as the Master of Ceremony this year, I've learned from experience that means a couple of things. Actually, 41 years ago, I was a senior at this breakfast, long time ago, and I've been here at Murray State for 34 years, and so I've been to most every one of them since then. As I understand, the role of MC is to keep the program moving, introduce all the many people that's going to present awards and honors and make remarks today, but yet to add a little humor. I love that. As pointed out by a bit of verse written by one of America's greatest living poets. Now, when I wrote this poem, no, I didn't. It says, grant me the sense of humor, Lord, grant me the grace to see a joke, to get some happiness from life and pass it on to other folks. I hope we pass some on. This morning we're going to have some jokes and some zingers. Most of them is going to be at my expense. Ethel Barrymore said the greatest step you'll ever take towards maturity is when you take that first laugh at yourself. So if you hadn't done that yet, take a great step towards maturity. Laugh at yourself as we laugh and reward others this morning. The invocation this morning will be given by Molly Logston, Executive Vice President of the Student Government Association. Molly.
Good morning. Would you please bow your head and join me in prayer? Dear Lord, we thank you for this day and for the opportunity to gather here and celebrate the many accomplishments of our seniors. We thank you for the food before us, and we pray that it would be to the nourishment of our minds and bodies. Lord, we thank you for the hands that have prepared this food. Lord, we just pray that you would be with our seniors as they transition to the next chapter of their lives, that you would just put your hand upon them and give them guidance and courage. And we just thank you for all the many blessings. In your name we pray. Amen.
Speaking of thanks, it's time to say thanks to some people that have made today possible. First, we'd like to say thanks to Sodexo and members of the catering staff for preparing the food. Whether you're a country boy, Blake, and get a country boy breakfast, or whether you're, a fancy girl, Ellie, we had breakfast for both of you today, so you had either way. Thanks to the CFSB and SSC crew for the setup and for all the details today. Let's give them a round of applause. Thanks to the MSU Horticulture Club for the decorations today, our own School of Ag Club. And it's not written into the program, but I always write it in. Thanks to the Student Affairs Office, Miss Angela Darnell, Miss Karen Johnson, Miss Peggy Whaley, others that'll be on the program today. Thank you all for putting this together. We can beat that for these folks, come on. And thanks to the members of the Murray State faculty and staff for serving this morning. Many of them are dressed in athletic uniforms, and I wanted to support them. So I have my authentic 12 jersey on. It's in the rafters. It's really famous after last night. No, this one was on special, so I got this one. Backwards, reversed. That's about what I am with Ja Morant. So, but it brings back many memories. Actually, I was a student athlete here at Murray State. I got a letter. I slipped and fell on the Brandon Arn out the farm one day. Got lettered. Okay. And then the track coach saw my ability, and he recruited me for the track team. And I said, sir, what event are you recruiting me for? And he said, we'd like for you to be the javelin catcher. I didn't get any respect. So At this time, if I could have your undivided attention, please, I have a significant announcement. I'm just hit send. I just posted this to Twitter. Racer Nation, after much prayer and consideration with my family and an intense review of my transcript and eligibility with the provost and athletic director, I'm excited to announce that I've been reclassified as a super senior dean and granted an extra year of COVID athletic eligibility. I'd like to express my gratitude for the support of the administration, faculty, and students. You'll always have a special place in my heart, and I wish you all the best. With that said, I've decided to enter my name into the transfer portal to see what other choices are available to me as a student athlete and/or university administrator. The last 34 years at Murray State have been incredible. I'll always cherish the moments, memories, and people I've had the privilege of meeting and working with. As always, go Racers. Coaches or administrators, you can contact me on the cell phone. All right. At this time, I'd like to recognize several distinguished groups that are here with us today. First, all graduating seniors and graduate students from the classes of May and August 22. Stand up. Congratulations, you're the reason we're here. Well done. Next, I've been asked to introduce the university vice presidents, a very important core group here. First, the VP of Money and Stuff, Miss Jackie Dudley. The provost, or it was in a student newspaper at Oklahoma State, they want to know what the provost does, and somebody said it's like the Pope of the university. Provost Tim Todd. And the VP of Banquets and Events, Dr. Don Robertson. And I'd be remiss if I didn't introduce some people that are very important to running this place around here, and that's the deans, the chairs, and the faculty. Deans, chairs, and faculty, y'all stand up. And let's all the university staff that are staff members join. We couldn't do this without the many people that help make this place the finest place we know. This time, it's my pleasure to introduce and welcome Dr. Bob Jackson, who was selected to be Murray State's interim president on August the 7th, 2018, and the 14th president of Murray State University. It's good that you got off 13, so you're 14. His official duties began August 16th, 2018. Many know him as different names over the years. Student Bob Jackson, Executive Bob Jackson, Senator Bob Jackson, Foundation President Bob Jackson, Our Best Days Are Ahead Jackson, or simply that Racer Safe and Healthy weekly email guy, Dr. Bob Jackson.
Dean Brannon, thank you, I think. How many think Dean Brannon's funny? Just raise your hand. Hey, it's good. By the way, he thinks he's really funny, and most of the time he is. His counting abilities are not what they used to be. But good morning and welcome, and I'm going to recognize some of the same groups that Dean Brannon did as well, and it's great to see everyone in person and a wonderful crowd this morning, and thank you for being here. Students, you are the centennial graduating class of Murray State University. So it's a special year, and you're a special class. You're about 1,500 strong, and I look forward to seeing many of you in the days ahead as you walk across this same stage. I would like to recognize you again. I'm not going to ask you to stand, eat your breakfast, but thank you, seniors. This class has experienced a couple of more difficult years maybe than previous classes of the last many years, and I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for your support, and I want to thank you for withstanding really everything that's been thrown at all of us for that period of time. And I admire and appreciate each of you. Some of you I know quite well, and I've known for a long time since you walked on this campus. But let's give them another round of applause. Regent Leon Owens is going to introduce members of our Board of Regents, our governing body of the university, in just a moment. But I want to thank them for their service and for all that they've done also in the past couple of years, but even longer for this institution. And our faculty and staff, I want to thank you for all that you've done for Murray State University, all that you continue to do for Murray State University. You're the core of everything that goes on here, and we appreciate especially your work and service to our students. And let's give all of those individuals another round of applause as well. Okay, seniors, so just a little bit of fun. I'm not going to try to tell any jokes this morning, but we're going to play Centennial Jeopardy for just 2 minutes. So this is very important. So consider this maybe your first final exam. Has anybody had a final exam yet? Okay, so some of you, maybe your second final exam. But this is really, really important. It may determine whether you walk across this stage or not. But it's going to be a fun and important process, so think deeply about this, and there's money involved. There's a gift certificate, a $25 gift certificate to the bookstore. So your last piece of racer gear as you leave this fine institution. Carrie McGinnis is standing. She told me yesterday that she's had a long time desire to be Vanna White. Now probably, does everyone know who Vanna White is? Okay, about 10%. So we're going to let Carrie be Vanna White, and probably most of you realize that Vanna is not on Jeopardy, but we're going to let Carrie be Vanna anyway. So raise your hand when I ask you this question, and we're going to have one winner. Think deeply about this trivia question. So we're going to have one warm-up question. Just one warm-up question to get everybody's blood flowing. There's no prize. Well, what year was Murray State founded? Right in front of me. Yes. Yes, ma'am. 1922. So hence you're the centennial class in 2022. Great answer. So that's the warm-up. Good job. Okay, here's the question. Here's the question for the prize.
I can't hear you in the back.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about as loud as I can. Let's see. Tony's a lot shorter than I am, so the mic's down here. Can you hear me in the back now? Okay. So there's a bronze statue in the quad, and you've walked by it hundreds of times, I hope. Can you tell me the name and the role of the person it depicts? Okay, all right, just hold on 1 second. So I'm going to read it again. There's a bronze statue in the quad. You've walked by it hundreds of times. Can you tell me the name and the role of the person it depicts? Okay. So raise your hand if you're ready. Okay. The name of the individual, Carrie?
John Carr. He said John C. Carr. Can we give it to him?
No. No. Great try. Kind of close. Well, what?
He said Rainy T. Wells.
Here, stand up, tell us.
Rainy Wells?
And what did he do?
He was the first president and founder.
Congratulations. Dr. Rainy T. Wells, he was our founder, 1922. He's also our second president, and left us with what we have today, the finest place we know. And seniors, congratulations again. So we've got a gift for you. It's been a true honor to be here with you, and congratulations to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. He successfully raised his hand on every question, including that I was funny, so I don't know if that's valid or not. But,
He's mostly funny.
we always have a memento for our special guests today, and we have a signed by the SGA officers KN95 mask for you, Dr. Jackson.
All right.
So at this time, it's time for a little audience participation. Do y'all know how this works? Knock, knock jokes? Knock, knock. Before you get your diploma, you got to shake his hand. At this time, I'd like to introduce the aforementioned Mr. Leon Owens, who is Finance Chair of the Board of Regents and President of Swift and Staley in Paducah, Kentucky, and bring a message to the students. Mr. Leon.
Good morning, everyone. To President Jackson and other distinguished members on the dais, to our faculty and staff, and more importantly to our seniors, it's a privilege and honor to stand before you and bring greetings on behalf of the Murray State University Board of Regents. And I would be remiss, as Dr. Jackson stated, if I didn't introduce, we have two of our board members who are present, Dr. Melanie Schimberger, and our student regent, Mr. Ian Puckett. I think this is my second time standing in for our board chair, bringing remarks on behalf of the Board of Regents, and this is a special occasion. I know for each of you that are graduating, we greatly appreciate you choosing Murray State University, but more importantly, we know the journey hasn't been easy, and you've exhibited a lot of qualities that will be beneficial to you as you matriculate either into grad school, into the armed services, or into an occupation. Be very brief today because I know you're here to eat, get your awards, and get up out of here. So we're very cognizant of that fact. But there are three items that I would like to bring to your attention, and I would encourage each of you to strive to be a student leader or servant leader. And I have a quote after each one of these characteristics that I feel would be valuable for you as you continue. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that was from Poet Laureate Maya Angelou. A change agent. I think your generation and the generations to follow, you have an obligation. Unfortunately, in the past, we haven't always been good stewards, not just of our society, but we haven't been good stewards toward each other. And I think it's important for you to be a change agent, to work effectively as an agent of change in a pluralistic society. It is necessary to be able to connect with people different from oneself. A college education feeds an adolescent in one end and gets a young adult out the other. In the process of the past 4, 5, and I'm hopeful no one has taken 6 years, that a person has changed significantly, and you and I have been agents of that change. What happens in the course of what we do is soul making, and that's from Mr. Leroy S. Rauner. And then lastly, I encourage you to value and nurture relationships. We can improve our relationships with others by leaps and bounds if we become encouragers instead of critics. And that's from Ms. Joyce Myers. So each of you, you have an opportunity not just to be the next leader, but also to leave an indelible mark on the society. So we appreciate you, we applaud you for what you have done. Congratulations, and God bless.
Thank you, Regent Owens. My phone's been burning up. 859, I better answer this. Coach Cal! Hey, all right, all right. Oh, you're with the president. Dean of Agriculture, UK? Oh man, that's a high-paying job. But what about on the basketball team? No openings. Big O came back. Your loss, your loss. You're willing to swap him for me? He can come to Murray State? Will you play Murray State? You won't play Murray State? Stick it. If you won't play Murray State, we're not having it. At this time, we want to introduce another regent serving the student body in an excellent way, the president of the Student Government Association, all the way from Graves County, Kentucky, Regent Ian Puckett.
Thank you, Dr. Brandon. Let me tell you, my heart is about to beat out of my chest, and it's not because I'm nervous, because it's my second to last speech as the Student Government Association president. It's because I'm standing next to Pope Timothy I. So we are surrounded by great company today, and we've already recognized a lot of great company here, but I'd like to recognize our regents, our faculty, our staff, our wonderful student body, everyone here that made this event possible. Thank you all very much for all the hard work you put in. It will be hard to follow the likes of Dr. Bob Jackson, Regent Owens, or Dr. Tony Brandon, who recently assumed the unofficial position as Mr. Murray State MC in the wake of the retirement of inaugural Mr. Murray State MC, Bob Valentine. And as he mentioned earlier in the program today, Dr. Brandon mentioned Bob Valentine. I wanted to briefly recognize him. And I mean, I'm only halfway kidding when I say this, but Bob Valentine has served as the MC for almost half of these functions. And many of my classmates know him as an MC for their events, and he has done a wonderful job at that, and he served many years on our faculty, and he's been a great asset to Murray State University, and even in his retirement. So I wanted to thank Bob Valentine, and I wanted to thank Dr. Brandon, who serves as the Dean of the Hudson School of Agriculture and as our Dean of Deans and the new Mr. Murray State MC. Thank you, Dr. Brandon. I also want to take some time to recognize some people who haven't been mentioned. I would like to recognize Jeannie Morgan, our advisor to the Student Government Association and Student Orgs. To Cade Gamble, our Center for Student Involvement Office Coordinator, all the hard work he does. Our incoming executive board, Ellie McGowan, the SGA president, and incoming SGA president and student regent, Gabe Maynard, our executive vice president, Claudia Sweeney, VP of administration, and Jacob Fritz, VP of finance, as well as Nicholas Novatka, our RCA president. So, Nick and I have known each other for about a year now, and I can't quite pronounce his last name right, so I apologize if I got it wrong, but wanted to welcome you all. I hope you're all enjoying your breakfast. Dr. Jackson and I have gotten to know each other very well over the past year, and one of our very many similarities is our love of fried bologna. And we tried to get fried bologna on the menu today, but Karen Jackson was not having that, so that was axed pretty quick. But on a real note, I want to thank Dr. Jackson and Karen for welcoming me into their home so many times, and for all the conversations we've had. I know that he's a very busy man, as is Karen, and they've been great helping me out this year, so I wanted to thank them. And now let's get on with the meat of the speech. So if I understand this correctly, this is our 84th annual Spring Senior Breakfast. And if you didn't already know, I'm a history major, and I have put in my research, studying diligently the pages of history of the Murray State University Annual Spring Breakfast. And I came with a few fun facts. First fun fact for you, the Annual Senior Breakfast has continued all 84 years of its existence, only being interrupted for 1 year in 2020, whenever it was conducted virtually due to COVID-19. Second fun fact for you, the first annual Spring Senior Breakfast was held in 1938 during the presidency of Dr. James H. Richmond, our third president, who served as president of Murray State Teachers College after his service as chairman of the Board of Regents. And third fact, little known fact, Dr. Tony Brandon served as the MC for the first annual Senior Breakfast in 1938. This, like Murray State University itself, is a long-standing tradition. We're excited to have you all here today. And as Dr. Jackson mentioned, this is our centennial year. So you're all a part of Murray State history. So consider that for a moment. And now I would like to briefly go over the 4 years that we've been here, what we've gone through, and maybe offer a few personal remarks at the end. So hang with me. Our freshman year was the beginning of our Odyssey years. We entered the university feeling a bit frazzled. We didn't know where we might end up, what we might want to get involved in, and some of us perhaps did not know what we wanted to major in, prompting that one word that our parents were perhaps a bit fearful to hear, undeclared. We quickly found our footing. Murray State University worked its magic and truly became a home away from home. Some of us took the leap and joined a Greek organization. Some got involved with their residential college, campus ministries, racer band, intramurals, respective departments, etc. And some were crazy enough to do all of these. We also found some of our favorite places on and off campus. The Zen Garden, and hammocking on the quad, and the Lizzo Amphitheater, the Arboretum, and of course, I think all my peers will testify to this, our favorite off-campus dining option, Cookout. We saw the rise of some guy on the basketball team named Ja Morant. Have you ever heard of this guy? Ja Morant and Shaq Buchanan were the bounce bros, bro. And this whole team made our freshman year absolutely epic. Basketball games in 2019 were like a Mike Tyson fight in the 1980s. Everyone had to have a front row seat. The student section was consistently packed, and it was just a wonderful time. We settled in, calmed down, and realized that these 4 years really would be, as many had told us, the best 4 years of our life. By sophomore year, we had settled in. We knew the campus well. We knew all the shortcuts to class. We knew our professors, and perhaps some did not because they had changed their major, but you get my point. We were racers now. We had ditched our complimentary yellow bags and gotten some good quality backpacks. We were now in the habit of checking our email like a stockbroker closing on the deal of a lifetime. We had gotten involved and begun to personalize our experience. We were ready to be upperclassmen. And then March of 2019 came. And we were notified of a virus that had entered the United States, and our sophomore year came to a sudden conclusion. We took our finals online from our homes, and we didn't know what would come next. Our junior year was something. I think we heard the phrase new normal so many times that those two words don't even seem like real words anymore. Murray State University has been through several name changes throughout its history. Murray State Normal School, Murray State Teachers College, Murray State College, and now Murray State University. But in the 2020-2021 school year, Murray State University became Zoom University. We experienced college like we had never had before. We experienced a lot of emotions. I think a lot of us can say we felt scared. We all knew loved ones that were affected by COVID-19. We didn't know what this virus was in the beginning. We were uncertain. We were anxious. But I think despite all that uncertainty and all that fear and all the roller coasters of emotions that we experienced, we began to take valuable lessons from the pandemic. And I think that we still have those entrenched within our hearts today. First, life is short. Make the most of the time that you've been given on this earth. Spend time with your loved ones. You never know how much longer you're going to have with them. And of course, as we heard from Dr. Jackson so many times, make good choices. And on that note, I think that we were ready to get back to normal because, of course, we know to make good choices, but we were tired of getting that weekly email, although it was nice and prompt and it was helpful. So thank you for that, Dr. Jackson. Our senior year opened with a momentous occasion. In the 2021 June meeting of the Board of Regents, the board unanimously voted to change the name of Zoom University to Murray State University, prompting yet another name change of this institution. We once again had a normal college experience, except for masks being required indoors, but hey, we would take it, and we did. We saw in-person instruction come back, in-person events, and normality in general. We began to feel at home again. When the masks came off, there was jubilation. Students cheered, masks littered the streets, And one student, I'm not even lying, even ran up to me, shook my hand, and hugged me hard enough to crack a rib, and said, "Give Bob Jackson a hug and a kiss for me." So we returned to normal. Our love for Murray State University only deepened. We never wavered. We persevered through a global pandemic, landed on our feet, and we can now face anything. And I want to leave you with a few brief remarks. So always remember, like I said previously, life is short. So remember, carpe diem, seize the day. You know, take all the risks that you can, that are good risks, by the way. Make sure that you go after the job that you want, pursue that relationship that you want, make time for your family and friends. Seize the day. Life is short. Make time for your loved ones. Pursue the meaningful things in life, and all the insignificant things will fall into place. And no matter how tough life gets, know that you are always a racer. You have a family here that loves you, and you will always be a racer. You will always be a part of the Murray State family. So with that being said, I'd like to say one last time as SGA president, shoes up and go Racers.
Thank you, President Puckett. Come back up here, being a history major. I'm sure he'll appreciate relics of the past and preserve them, so we want to give you your token of your service as SGA president, something that you'll always remember it. We have a bucket of sanitizing wipes just for you. Miss Jackie, I'll reimburse, but you got to find what room it came out of first. So. At this time, somebody that's been around much longer than I am, but she wears it gracefully. How many years? Is it 50? 45. 45. She's been Miss Murray State Student Government and Miss Murray State, and I think that deserves a round of applause. As she comes to the podium, Miss Jenny Morgan, advisor to the SGA and student organization. She's going to recognize the winners of the Max Carmen Outstanding Teacher Award, the Jim Bauer Outstanding Staff Service Award, and the Ralph H. Woods Memorial Award. Miss Jenny Morgan, number 14.
Good morning. These awards are nominated by students and voted on by students, so they are really special to receive, and I hope everyone enjoys this event.
I'll take it.
Okay. The Max Carmen Outstanding Award. In 1979, the Student Government Association presented the first Max Carmen Outstanding Teacher Award. This award is given in recognition of the recipient's teaching excellence as evidenced by his or her effectiveness and ability to motivate and inspire students in the classroom and outside the classroom. The person's name will go on a plaque that's in the SGA office. And this year's recipient is Dr. Kimberly Bella. Jim Bauer Outstanding Staff Service Award. In 2003, the Student Government Association created an award in honor of Jim Bauer, recognizing a staff member that goes above and beyond the call of prescribed duty and dedication with regard to students of Murray State University. This staff member is nominated and selected by students. The 2021-22 Jim Bauer Outstanding Service Award goes to Mr. Jordan Smith. The Ralph H. Woods Memorial Award. In 1974, the Student Government Association presented the first Ralph H. Woods Memorial Award. This award is given in recognition of the recipient's outstanding leadership and service in behalf of the student body at Murray State University. The 21-22 Ralph H. Woods Memorial Award goes to Ian Puckett. Thank you.
Congratulations to these award winners. Man, I didn't know how this Twitter and transfer portal worked. My phone's been burning up. Hello? Coach McMahon. Hey, how's it down south? You're looking for players too? No. What kind of deal can you give me? Poster boy of Tabasco sauce? No way. I'm out. Offers keep coming. At this time, I'd like to introduce the VP of Banquets and Events to recognize the following members that are all deserving in residential life: SGA, shield carriers, academic SGA officers, yada, yada, yada. Dr. Don Robertson.
Good morning, everyone, and I would like to just take a minute also to congratulate each of our graduates, both seniors and graduate students. As always, at an occasion like this, I want to first thank you for choosing Murray State University and being a racer, because I know you had lots of choices, and you chose our university, and we're certainly a much better place because of your presence and the many contributions you've made during your time at Murray State University. I want to recognize, first of all, the current, outgoing, I guess still current Student Government Association. Students, this group has represented you very, very well over this past year and have been strong advocates for your needs. And it's one of the main groups we as an administration listen to get feedback, advice, and counsel, and they have done an outstanding job. So as I call this group out, if you would go down, and Dr. Jackson has a plaque for you. First of all, Ty Allen, who was Chief Justice. Chelsea Jones was the RCA president. I don't believe Chelsea's here. I think she's in her nursing role right now. Walter Steele, vice president of finance. Also recently received the most outstanding student in the School of Agriculture, senior, and probably the most outstanding agricultural student in the world. So congratulations and thank you. Amy Krazel, Vice President for Administration. Molly Logston, Executive Vice President. There's a long walk down the stairs there. And then lastly, and certainly not least, one of the most outstanding presidents that I've had the pleasure to work with during my 32 years at Murray State University, and Mr. Ian Puckett is the president. As I said, they have all done an outstanding job. They've represented you very well, and let's give the group as a whole another round of applause. So as you have an outgoing group, you then have an incoming group of student government officials and officers, and I want to ask them to stand. I know President Puckett has already recognized them, but I want them to stand as a group so we can just again give them a round of applause. First, Nicholas Novaka, the Vice RCA President. Just stand and we'll give you a round of applause. Ty Allen is Chief Justice again. Jacob Fritz, Vice President of Finance. Claudia Sweeney, Vice President Administration. Gabe Maynard, Executive Vice President. And the new incoming President, Ellie McGowan, President. And they will do an outstanding job representing us, representing you also. There are three groups I would like to just recognize very briefly and ask if they would stand as I introduce the category. First of all, one of the strengths of Murray State University is our diversity, and a large part of that diversity is our international students that come from over 50 countries, and we're very much an international institution. And when I indicated thank you for being a student, because you could have gone anywhere you wanted to, these students could have gone anywhere in the world, and they chose Murray State University. So I would ask if any of our international students are here, if they would stand, and let's give them a round of applause and thank them. Second group would be our first generation student graduates. And this is a very special group. That means these are the first in their family to go to college, the first in their family to graduate from college. And that's a very special group to me because I too am a first generation college graduate. And it's very significant for the student, but also very, very significant for the families, as is every graduate. It's very significant for their family. So if you're a first generation student, which is over 40% of our student body, stand up and let us recognize you also. And then lastly, and again, certainly not least, I'd like to recognize our veteran students, our veteran graduates, our veterans, our faculty and staff, and anyone that's involved in ROTC, because you serve our nation and we're very, very fortunate for you taking on that responsibility. So if you're a veteran or an ROTC student, would you stand and let us give you a round of applause, faculty and students. At this time then, Dr. Chris Trespass will come forward and present the Outstanding Residential College Student Awards.
Good morning. I'm up here representing, I want to point out my colleagues who are joining us this morning, the other residential college heads. Please, friends, could you stand and be recognized? College heads. Some of them, the residential college system was established in 1996 with the goal to foster interaction, engagement, and collaboration between the faculty, the staff, and the students. Each of the 8 residential colleges represents a unique community within Murray State, and in addition to being a racer, each and every member of their residential college can take pride in identifying as either a crusader, an eagle, a raven, a hedgehog, a rhino, a lion, a terrapin, or a shark. Each semester, the residential colleges like to recognize their graduating seniors, and in particular those who have given back to these communities to make these communities a better and more engaging experience for all the individuals. We give out several awards. The Outstanding Academic Achievement Award recognizes excellence in the classroom. The Outstanding Service Award recognizes support within the college. And the Shield Bearer Award is given to the individual, or in this case, individuals, for the multiple ceremonies we're having this year, that best embodies the spirit, the mission, and the soul of each residential college. And so I'm going to announce these by college, and as I announce your name, please head up to the table. Dr. Robertson will hand you a plaque, and you have your picture taken there. And if we can hold our applause until the very end, because there are a lot of names here. So from Lee Clark College, the the Academic Achievement Award is going to Hannah Nolan. The Outstanding Service Award is going to Justin Gagney. And the shield bearers are going to Megan Walker, Lauren Morgan, and Hannah Nolan. From Elizabeth College, the Academic Achievement Award is going to Hannah Troutman. The Outstanding Service Award to Cheyenne McKinney. And the Shield Bearer Award is going to Samuel Smith and Jada Critchlow. From Hart College, the Shield Bearing Awards are going to Emma Welter and Jessica Levin. From Hester College, Academic Achievement, Matthew Vaughn. Outstanding Service to Cynthia Simpkins. And the Shield Bearer Awards going to Connor Kirkwood and Tabitha Croft. From Regent's College, the Academic Achievement is going to Charlie Raymer. The Outstanding Service, Sydney Riley, and the Shield Bearer Awards to Maria Turner and Sydney Riley. From Richmond College, Academic Achievement to Nicholas Gaubots. Outstanding Service to Trevor Elliott. And the Shield Bearer Awards going to Heather Mitchell and Tyler Robinson. From Springer Franklin College, the Academic Achievement is going to Anna Demange. The Service Award to Chloe Williamson. And the Shield Bearer Awards to Anna Demange and Chloe Williamson. From R.H. White College, Academic Achievement Award to Mason Dubbs. The Service Award to Abby Howard. And the Shield Bearers are Jyla Bracken and Caitlin Bain. So, to all our award recipients, thank you from myself and the other college heads for being a positive influence within the residential colleges during your time here.
This time, Jen Caldwell will come forward, another student affairs employee and does so many things so well. Coordinator for student conduct. None of you have had any problems with that. And special projects. That means whatever Dr. R doesn't want to do, right? Is that right? And she is going to present the who's who. Jen.
Thanks, Tony. Good morning, everyone, and congratulations, graduates. I am Jen Caldwell, and I will be announcing the names of those selected for the who's who of Murray State students. These students applied because of their leadership, their organizational involvement, their academic involvement, and their academic achievements. So this is a great honor for all of our students that have been selected. I will be calling names and asking everyone to stand up, and then afterwards, we will have a certificate over at the table for you, so after the program's over, because there's still lots to go. So when I call your name, if you're here, please stand and be recognized. Claire Carrico, Morgan Jennings, Frances Adams, Carmen Bandy, Lauren Bartow, Sarah Basil, Marissa Ballou, Victoria Bernard, Rachel Booth, Martha Briones, Kara Bubanovich, Alexis Burpo, Addison Cash, Caitlin Chen, Kayla Chin, Sydney Klaus, Sunshine Coombs, Brandon Cooper, Austin Corsi, Cameron Crass, Jada Critchlow, Mariah DeFries, Anna DeMonge, Hannah Derby, Isabel DeSalvo, Melina Eaker, Mackenzie Easter, Caitlin Elmore, Malcolm Fife, Emily Fischels, Haley Ford, Nicholas Gaubots, Juliana Nadinger, Alyssa Gott, Gabrielle Gray, Rachel Gregory, Kaylin Grice, Sophia Grogan, Lily Hannick, Molly Henderson, Cheyenne Hearing, Tanner Hicks, Nancy Hill, Madison Hillberry, Hayden Jaco, Molly Johnson, Merrick Johnson, Ashley Jones, Hannah Kamen, Jacob Kaufman, Jerry Kennedy, Gabrielle Kennedy, Isaiah King, Connor Kirkwood, Amy Krazel, Andrew Langston, Jessica Levin, Molly Logsden, Kristen Lyons, Mariah Lyons, Eric McLean, Cameron McClure, Jacob Mitchell, Heather Mitchell, Emma Nelson, Timothy Newcomb, Hannah Nolet, Trevor Plenert, Courtney Rager, Sydney Reed, Dylan Rhodes, Josie Rideout, Katie Rose, Riley Roy, Alexis Schindler, Delaney Schroet, Lindsay Sigmund, Haley Silva Murillo, Grace Sinclair, Samuel Smith, Jillian Smith, Charlie Spieth, Macy Steele, Walter Steele, Jay Steeler, Srijana Chuladar, Colleen Vu, Megan Walker, Cody Watkins, Ellie Weber, James Webster, Lexus Wiegman, Lucy Wilkinson, Adam Williams, Kelly Woods, Mallory Wooldridge, and Kaylin Young. Please join me in recognizing these students.
Thank you, Jen. Got a lot of who's who. Dr. Warren Edmondson will be making his way. He is the Honorable Warren Edmondson, or the honorary whichever way you want to put it, director of our honors program, and he's going to recognize the honors program graduates. We're rapidly going uphill to the conclusion of this, but if you're a senior and you got a 9:30 class, you don't have to leave. The Pope will write you an excuse.
We are proud of all of our graduates at Murray State and really look forward to what you are going to do. But we did want to recognize the achievement of those students receiving honors degrees. These students have taken a series of very demanding seminars while they were here. They have studied abroad, which has been particularly difficult recently. They have had to do additional math, science, and foreign language requirements. And they all write a senior thesis at the end of their time. So, receiving the honors diploma this year, I'm going to read the names, and I would like you to stand and remain standing until we finish all of the names, and then we'll applaud you. So, receiving the honors diploma, Carmen Bandy, Tori Bernard, Garrett Clark, Sunshine Coombs, Austin Coursey, Emma Creviston, Emily Davis, Emma Durham, Abigail Emerson, Jaden Estes, Emma Felker Campbell, Emily Fischels, Brianna Goggin, Audrey Garcia, Nicholas Gaubots, Elena Gilly, J.R. Gates, Trevor Grant, Ashlyn Grubbs, Andrea Hack, Jordan Haley, Lily Hannock, Holly Hart, Mallory Harrington, Nathan Hartman, Emily Helmick, Hannah Hill, Brennan Hughes, Merrick Johnson, Jacob Kaufman, Gabby Kennedy, Amy Krazel, Elena Martin, Yasmin Neal, Tim Newcomb, Maya Noonan, Hayden Petty, Grace Phelps, Rebecca Potts, Dylan Rhodes, Delaney Schroet, Grace Sinclair, Katie Stribling, Trinity Valencia, Cody Watkins, Chloe Williamson, Jonna Woodson, Mallory Wooldridge, and Yasmin Zarate. Receiving the honors focus, Gray Adkins, Keisha Beck, Alexis Bakey, Sydney Klaus, Brandon Cooper, Ashley Dietering, Madison Hilbury, Alyssa Hubbard, Jordan Kruger, Shayna Magnus, Jamie Mason, Cheyenne McKinney, Kristen Moore, Nick Nelson, Megan Overholt, Carrie Owen, Sam Smith, Daniela Tabib, Adam Williams, Thomas Wood, and Jacob Zerger. Let's give these honors graduates a hand.
Thank you. Boy, my phone's been ringing, been just going crazy here, but I'm holding out for the right offer. Maybe it'll come. Maybe it'll come. Chief Gentry. Did I do something wrong? Oh, Coach Prone, our new coach. Welcome, Coach Prone. Y'all can do better than that. Stand and welcome him back. Coach Steve Prone. Coach Prone, I figured you was out recruiting. It's good to have you here.
Man, we heard you were in the transfer portal.
Me?
Yeah.
21.
Since we need about 12 players, and you already got a uniform, figured, man, we'd offer you a scholarship, man.
All right. Really? Well, all these other people have been giving me deals. What about playing time? What position do you envision me to play?
I think the first thing is who can you get an NIL deal with out here?
Yeah, there you go.
See, that's what I think. I said I didn't know. Does everybody know what the NIL is? So I didn't know how good that joke would go over.
I know.
So, but no,
they offered me Coach McMahon as like poster boy of Tabasco sauce. So,
yeah.
What are you offering?
Man, you play center, guard, or forward for us.
Wherever I want to play.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, they told me, my assistant said, I guess you sit in the center of the bench, you guard the water bottles, and you look forward to the next game.
Oh, all right. Hey, I resemble that remark. Anything, you students, you got to help me out. At the end of the game, we're going to be winning so many they're going to start. We want Tony. We want Tony, you know.
Jordan Burge is actually the winningest player in the history of the school, and he
never scored.
Never scored.
Right? He started over Isaiah Cannon one time,
On
didn't he?
senior night, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Jeremy, where are you? We got to get a picture for Twitter. There he is, right here.
I am disappointed we couldn't get an NIL deal for you out of this crowd.
Keep working, Coach. Keep working. There's still some out here.
So appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, guys.
Go Racers.
Congratulations to you seniors.
Appreciate him taking time out of your busy schedule to help us. Now to recognize our most outstanding graduates, those will be at the front of the line. As I've already mentioned, I was never at the front of the line. Matter of fact, I was so far back when I got my sheepskin diploma, it still had the tail on it. I don't care who you are, that's funny. This time, Dr. David Gibson, Associate Professor of Mathematics, and Dr. Tanya Malo, Associate Professor of Nursing, will present the Outstanding Senior Man and Senior Woman Awards.
This year's Murray State 2022 Outstanding Senior Man, Nicholas Gaubots. Even if I read at the speed of a disclaimer at the end of a pharmaceutical commercial, I will never be able to get through all the accomplishments of Nicholas. I'll limit it to a few highlights. He will be receiving the honors diploma, majoring in mathematics, minoring in computer science with a 4.0 GPA. As a presidential fellow, Nicholas worked on several undergraduate research projects, including, I quote, discovered and proved the correctness of an explicit expression of Dynkin polynomials corresponding to the type Dn Weil groups, systematic functions, and Lie algebras. Now, I'm a math teacher, and I'm still just going to have to take your word for it. Nicholas also was accepted at 2 REU's research experiences for undergraduates, one at LSU and one at Auburn. And after his experience at Auburn, he actually published a paper called Friends in ZN in the International Journal of Mathematics and Computer Science. And now Nicholas has been awarded one of Auburn's presidential graduate fellowships and will be entering their doctoral program in mathematics in the fall. Now, kind of similar to the Grammy Awards, where certain artists actually get more than one award, Nicholas actually is getting other awards. One of the awards he's getting is the Julius Caesar Award. 4 years ago, I was giving a presentation to some freshmen, included all kinds of things, including a few pictures of outstanding Murray State senior graduates. After that talk, a freshman came up to me and says, "What do you do to become outstanding senior graduate?" 4 years later, Nicholas Gaubots, that freshman, he came, he saw, and he conquered. He's also receiving the Billy Joel Award. I had some students over to my house one time. Nicholas got on the piano. Some of these students, I see them out in the audience. They gathered around, had a sing-along. I got the idea while they were doing that, you know, maybe I could be one of those classy people who have people over to their house and there's someone providing background music over to the side and so forth. So one evening, Nicholas is at my house providing entertainment for my guests as my piano man. Next, the Putin Award. I read that too fast. Is the Un-Putin Award. The Un-Putin Award. On his path to his many accomplishments, Nicholas didn't run over people. He consistently demonstrated a concern for the welfare of other people. Nicholas is also receiving the Saturday Night Live Award. To be on Saturday Night Live, you've got to not take yourself too seriously, and you've got to be able to take on a lot of different roles. As an RA in Richmond College, Nicholas hosted several award-winning programs where he played, among other things, a yoga instructor, game show host, and a karaoke singer. Now, you may recall the commercial that had the most interesting man in the world. Now, Nicholas has not won the most interesting man in the world award, but he has won the most interesting man in the math department. At our winter banquet, he did a fantastic presentation where he explained a 19th century math problem. But the interesting thing was he explained it using chicken nuggets. I will close with a commemorative poem. There once was a young man named Gaubots. Some say he's smarter than those astronauts. His explanation using nuggets of chicken left his math audience all stricken. When his light bulb comes on, it's 1,000 watts. Let's congratulate this year's outstanding senior man, Nicholas Gaubots.
I'm probably the one that doesn't need this microphone, but I'll leave it there. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. I feel both honored and humbled to stand before you today to introduce the Spring 2022 Outstanding Senior Woman from Murray State. I met this student in 2018. She approached me to be her mentor for her presidential fellowship, which is kind of funny because in the last 3.5 years, she's taught me so much. So the mentor became the mentee. When I was thinking about writing this speech, I knew what I wanted to say, just not how to say it. Thought about doing a song. You don't want me to sing. Thought about doing a poem. Nah, I can't write those. So then it hit me. I'm a nurse. We have an acronym for everything. Everything. So I thought, I'll use an acronym to talk about this student. What better acronym than outstanding? So I hope this will give you a little idea about why she was chosen. O. O is for octopus. This student has so much going on. I know she has at least 8 arms, if not more. She needs them to help juggle all her activities. She's student campus ambassador, vice president of alumni and heritage, executive vice president of Student Government Association, member of the Presidential Fellows Selection Committee, member and vice president of Alpha Sigma Alpha sorority, Honors College Ambassador, and a member of the Honors Student Council, just to name a few. So O is definitely for octopus. U, utterly amazing. Every week, she amazed me with her work ethic and her drive to achieve more and more. Always going above and beyond, not only for herself, but for her classmates, her friends, and her family. T. T's like for totally rad, man. She's totally cool. She always is outgoing, charismatic, and put a smile on your face just when you needed it most. S is for service. This student is always willing to give of herself, no matter the time nor the effort it takes. She has provided and shopped for Christmas gifts for Toys for Tots, assisted with cheer for athletes in the Special Olympics, visits with the elderly at Spring Creek Nursing Facility, and has led and served young adults on the Teens Encounter Christ Retreat. Her service to others is something we should all take a lesson. T, did I say she's like totally rad, man? A is for academic awards. How much time have we got? Presidential Fellow, been on the President's list for 6 semesters, Dean's list for 7, received multiple scholarships, received the Elizabeth Byrd Small Award, which is the highest national award to be received by an individual member of Alpha Sigma Alpha. I could go on, but I only have 5 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to go over that. Sorry, not sorry. N is for Nurse Extern, something a lot of nursing students do over the summer just to get a little more experience in their chosen path. What makes this student stand out? She did her externship at the Mayo Clinic. Yeah, I said the Mayo Clinic. She was chosen as one of 50 externs in a pool of 1,000 plus applicants that was nationwide. Now, if that isn't something to brag about. D is for dedication. I really don't think I need to explain this. I is for innovative. Her thesis project was phenomenal. She took the concept of childhood obesity related to sugar intake and developed a presentation for middle school students. She did that presentation multiple times to multiple classes. She made such an impact on those kids and on their parents. Sugar Shenanigans is the sweetest project I know. N is for nursing and what a nurse she is going to be. Kind, compassionate, intelligent. We in the School of Nursing and Health Professions were lucky to have her as a student, and I know she'll someday pursue an advanced degree. Could we be that lucky again, that she'd come home to achieve that dream? And G is for graduate, soon to be. G is for going away, physically leaving, but always in our hearts. But G is not for goodbye, it's for see you again soon. I want to say thank you to this student. Thanks for the chance to get to know you, to learn from you, to share in your success in the program and in life. Your future is going to be amazing, and I look forward to those phone calls when she goes, "Dr. Malo, guess what?" I love those, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Spring 2022 Murray State Outstanding Graduate Woman, Amy Crazel.
Finest place I know. Not only we have outstanding graduates, we have outstanding faculty that can not only calculate your mathematics and nurse you back to health, but can be an orator and a poet. So no end to our talent around here. So congratulations to these two outstanding seniors. We're gonna kind of continue on. At this point in time, let's stand up and give the two outstanding seniors a round of applause. That gives everybody a break. Carrie McGinnis. Thank you. That's a standing ovation for the outstanding seniors, and a welcome to Miss Carrie Full of Energy McGinnis from the Alumni Association, who would like to address you pre-graduation.
Good morning. Hey guys, how we doing? I'll make this brief. You know, I'm really excited to hear that Coach Prohm and Dean Brannon were able to come to an agreement because, you know, he mentioned the NIL. Some of you said you don't know what that is. That's name, image, likeness. So, for example, the mustache kid from St. Peter's, he got a deal with Buffalo Wild Wings, right? So we've been talking, I've been serving as his agent and looking at Dean Brannon's options. And first of all, they were like, name, yes. Image, likeness, meh. But I kept at it. I was persistent. And so far, we've gotten some offers, Dean. Right now in the lead, mayonnaise, pork rinds, and my personal favorite, Preparation H. Ian, I think in all of your history studies, did you see that that was the first time anybody's ever said Preparation H at a senior breakfast? I feel like it is. So we were talking earlier when Dr. Jackson was giving his trivia question, and I got to serve as Vanna, and we were talking about those statues that we walk past on our college campus. And we talked about, our winner mentioned Rainey T. Wells. Rainey T. Wells was our founding father of Murray State University in 1922. And our friend who first made a stab at answering that question said John C. Carr. So I want to share a little story with you that I think is pertinent to what we're doing today. It's actually John W. Carr, and John W. Carr was the first president of Murray State University. So think about that for a minute. Rainey T. Wells founded this institution, but he wasn't our first president. And I think, based on a little bit of research, that he really thought he would be. When he founded this institution, he thought he would serve as its first president. It would only make sense, right? He founded the company. But the state legislature and those in Frankfurt had a different idea. And they actually went on to name Dr. John W. Carr as our first president. So you can imagine, you founded the company and your number 2 gets the gig to run the joint, right? You might be a little bit unhappy about that. And word is that at the time, Rainey T. Wells was not real thrilled that he was passed over for that role. And somebody who had a lot of relationships and experience in Frankfurt did. So there are 2 lessons that you can learn from that today, graduates. 2 very good lessons, and those are that sometimes things don't always work out like you anticipated. Sometimes, no matter how hard you worked or no matter what impact you made, you may not get that promotion the first time, or it might not go exactly as you planned. But if you keep at it and you persist and you work hard, you too could make history anyway. Because after John W. Carr wrapped up his presidency, who do you think the number 2 president was? Rainey T. Wells. Now, the reason that our friend mentioned John W. Carr is because John W. Carr also has a statue on our campus. He's sitting on that bench, hanging out, chilling in front of John W. Carr Hall. And he went down in history because of relationships. That's lesson number 2. Relationships. Stay in relationship. Don't burn bridges. Foster those friendships. Those of you who are here today together, stick together. You're going to lean on each other for so many years to come. The other thing I want to tell you is that this goes by really, really, really fast. I was just talking with Jacob this morning. He said, seems like it was yesterday that I was a freshman at Clark Hall, and here I am graduating. Well, if you thought this 4 years went fast, you just wait. It goes by so quickly. So don't waste a second of it. 1 minute, you're playing wiffle ball at the Sigma Chi house, you're doing the Derby Day thing, you're raising money, you're doing philanthropy, you're hanging out with your friends in your residential college, and the next you're learning a whole new language. You're trying to keep up with that next generation. You're learning words like chuggy. I guess it's not a compliment, I don't know. I'm Gen X, I just kind of owned it and rocked on. Niece of mine just recently, I was feeling pretty good to myself, and she said, "Okay, Carrie, you wait." I was like, "Can you tell? Am I bloated? I don't know." Yes, I did eat, but I'm trying to keep up, you know? Don't waste a second, guys. It goes by so fast. Don't live a life of should-haves and shouldn't-haves. I should have done this. I shouldn't have done that. Should have and shouldn't have represent an opportunity missed and an opportunity wasted. Don't live a should have, shouldn't have life. Take advantage of your youth, take advantage of what you've learned here, and go, stay in relationship, and make history, no matter if it goes the way you planned or not. So when we talk about staying in relationship, I would ask you to stay in relationship with your alma mater after you graduate. I'm going to ask you to join the Alumni Association. It's free for your first year after graduation. It costs you nothing, and it will generate so much in your career moving forward. If you could, I'd like for some friends of mine to please stand. On your tables, you'll see there are bookmarks, and those bookmarks have a QR code that you can use to join the Alumni Association for that free membership. Take those bookmarks with you and use them as you continue to be lifelong learners. Those bookmarks were created by Dr. Marcy Hinton's Senior PR Capstone Class, JMC 491. Their project this semester has been focusing on getting you, our graduates, to join the Alumni Association. That was their idea, they created it, they printed it. So will you guys please stand? Let everybody give you a round of applause. They've been doing a really, really great job, and they've given us so much insight. So, join the Alumni Association to stay connected, and also because they'll get an A. So thank you for being here this morning, graduates. Congratulations, we're so proud of you. Don't waste a second of it. Good luck, and go Racers.
Thank you. Carrie, if Ms. Staley Clark will come forward, we'll conclude. As we do, I'm going to turn from MC to Serious Dean here a minute and leave you my concluding thoughts and challenge. One of my favorite speeches for a different occasion comes out of my famous On Beyond Zebra speech that I've got. You can hear that. You people in agriculture have heard it to ad nauseum. You probably won't get that book for graduation because it's been banned and it's worth hundreds of dollars, so don't steal it. You may get this one, Oh, the Places You Go. It hadn't been banned because it's the bestseller, by the way. But if you do, tear out this page because it's a lie, bull, and you will succeed. Yes, you will indeed, 98.75% guaranteed. It's a lie. You have a head start being a Murray State graduate, granted, but the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. So if you're going to succeed, you got to go to work. And upon the conclusion of today's alma mater, we're going to go to work, Murray State, in the words of Bob Valentine, and you graduates are going to go to work, right? All right. Staley? Everybody stand.
In the heart of Jackson's purchase, 'neath the sun's warm glow, is the home of Murray State, finest place we know. May we cherish thy tradition, hold thy banner high, ever guard thy name in glory, live to do or die. Though we leave thy halls forever, many miles go hence, may our love for alma mater only have commenced. May we cherish thy tradition, hold thy banner high, ever guard thy name in glory, live to do or die.
How great. In the words of an old dean, may you plant seeds of friendship, fertilize everything with kindness and understanding, cultivate with a sense of humor, and you'll harvest a happy and successful life. Let's go, racers, and let's go to work. There's your sign.